Good. Check. Yes, we just started recording and we're going to have this conversation. Before we start to talk about poster, do you mind to give an introduction to yourself, like what you did before, the team, and how you guys started building poster?
Okay, so I've been in the crypto space since like 6 years now. 2020 was when I actually reinvented myself as Cyber Shakti because I was working in a Web2 job, and my job was actually show running IPs. So I was working with a media and media conglomerate in India, heading news, entertainment, and media. And I did award shows. I did like special IP programming, and a lot of this was like my day job. But I was always an artist, so like while I was like a moonlighting artist, I never sort of prioritized my artwork. You know how it is when you have a full-time job, right? And then suddenly lockdown happened, and a random friend from a random Facebook group of glitch artists invited me to a Discord server. And I was like, why should I join a Discord server? That's like another messenger service. I don't want another messenger service in my life, but I finally relented. And in that server, I figured what was missing in my life to give that artist in me a push. But I did have a day job, and crypto was still in the gray area. Is it legal? Is it not legal? So I actually came up with a new pseudonym for myself, that is Cyber Shakti. And Cyber Shakti, the artist, was born that way from a random Discord server. And this is even before the NFT boom as such, right?
Wow.
So this is like super rare. This is known origin. I'm talking about those times when even PFP projects hadn't taken off.
Yes.
So at that point in time, Cyber Shakti did really well in her art journey. And then the NFT wave came in, with Bored Ape,
Great
World of
moment.
Women. So I was actually very much in the trenches, in these communities, building, participating in DAOs. And while all this was happening, I still knew that, the rails and the pillars are still not set for mass adoption, as we call it,
Yes.
And I think with every day that's going by, I think we're getting nearer and nearer, especially with like cool protocols like Story Protocol. Like at that point in time, we did have a promise of, this is your IP, you're actually buying the JPEG, you're buying into the IP, but what to do with that IP, people did not know.
Right.
It wasn't programmable as it is right now.
Yes.
And, I actually joined Lens and Farcaster pretty early on. And because I joined Lens and Farcaster early on, the marketer and me could spot this opportunity where content creation and content publishing both become on-chain.
Yes.
Because in Farcaster and Lens, you can publish on-chain, but the content that people were still creating, I still had to like right-click save as on my World of Women or my Bored Ape to be able to make a banner from it, right?
Yes.
And I was like, why the hell? This is 2023, okay? I should not have to right-click save as my NFT to be able to edit it. And that's how the idea of Poster first sparked. And Poster.fun actually started out as on-chain Canva. At that point in time, on-chain Canva, though, was like too broad of a proposition because it was talking to everybody and nobody in general, right?
Yeah.
So it took us a while to find the perfect PMF between the kind of creator that we wanted to address and the kind of specific use cases that we wanted to sort of offer. And it's amazing throughout the journey with Farcaster frames, we found great adoption in working specifically with shit posters.
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah. So like you have all these amazing art marketplaces, but you have nothing that caters especially for people, who are perpetually online. They are very, very online.
Yeah.
They hunt for alpha all the time. They want to be vocal and they want to share their opinions and they want to make memes, but they have design skills of my dad.
Yeah. I'm one of the people that don't have design skills. But I don't get all the time, but yes, I totally
Yeah.
resonate.
So imagine you build tools. Because see, at any given point in time for any community, only 20% people or bag holders are creative, right?
Yes.
The missing opportunity is that you cater to the rest of the 80% of the people, and you give them tools to be able to churn out memes, churn out content faster for you. So you actually weaponize this 80% of latent evangelists and you turn them into your active spokespeople with easy tools like Poster, and with IP sort of natively built into this. Imagine now every time you make like a dope meme and other people remix it, a part of it comes back to you.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I was always trying to create some art with my own IP as well, and it looks like people who doesn't have the skill of artists, that's really hard. It's just stuck. I'm like, oh, my IP is just sitting in my hand, not doing anything.
Yeah.
So with what you said, Poster is the tool for creating IP remixing, right?
Yes.
So why you guys started building like on story? I think the IP part is kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you can share a little bit experience of how that work journey with story.
Oh, the story team is hands down one of the best teams and ecosystems that I've worked with in my 6 years. Actually, everybody's so amazing. And even working with the ecosystem, right? We actually participated in the Odyssey testnet, and that was amazing. We got like 167K badges minted. We actually got over 1 million users coming and trying to create their first meme and putting that on chain. So imagine like 1 million users coming and putting something on chain for the first time. That feeling of we did something and we made people like try this out and engage with the chain. That was amazing. So, we didn't want to get the momentum like down. So what we did was we proactively actually reached out to the story team and said that, hey, the Odyssey testnet mania was fun. And I have an insight that users really actually liked having IP with them, the IP tokens with them, right? So what about we do a Christmas campaign, a Christmas activation, wherein all the ecosystem partners come together. You give me your mascots, I'll put them on Poster. Okay, and we'll get people to make Christmas cards, and in exchange, what we'll do is we'll put an IP faucet. So if you design a Christmas card and you put it on chain, you can redeem a IP token so that you can engage more with the ecosystem. And imagine, I gave them this idea like 48 hours before Christmas. Okay. Within 12 hours, the story team said, great idea, go for it. They gave me a green signal. Within 12 hours, 7 ecosystem partners not only said, yes, we love to do this, but they also pulled in 1,000 IP each so that we could load up the faucet. We didn't have to ask anything from the story team. It's the ecosystem that came together, and
I got chills.
Yeah, and we distributed over like 30,000 IP to people, and we got over 800K Christmas cards made.
Wow. Wow. Well, I mean, that's the best, right? Like you didn't have to reach out the team and then the ecosystem get together to get stuff done. But with how fast the story team been responding.
Absolutely. And they were like, because they were also busy with the mainnet stuff, right?
Yes.
So I said, look, trust me, I will not put like extra marketing burden on you. And they trust you when, you say something like that. And they said, run with it. And Emma from the ecosystem was so helpful.
How does it feel being trusted by the ecosystem?
It feels
like the team, right? They're one team.
Yeah, like it just shows mutual respect that the story team has for you, and you as builders, that's all you want, right? You want recognition and you want trust that we can do a good job. And I think that mutual respect shows in the kind of apps we put out, the kind of experiences we put out for people.
Yeah, I do see quite a lot of like not only marketing to us, they provide a lot of tech support to the team, to the ecosystem. So what is that story? Just share one story between you guys and the story team. I mean, we have to do a story.
Oh, okay. So,
the most memorable story that you
can I tell you about the first time I met Jason Zhao?
Yes, I love that.
Let's do that. Okay, so I was always building Poster.fun, and we were tinkering with revenue splits and all that. as such on our own. And I was excited about Story Protocol from the minute I read about it. I was like, whatever I do, I have to build on story.
Wow.
So last year around June, I think I was in San Francisco, and and this is before the big funding announcements and everything, right? This is when Story Team was also like in the earlier phases, and I went to the happy hour at San Mateo office.
Oh, I went there. I was there. Yeah.
So I went to that San Mateo office happy hour, and
Matt Jason?
no. So I was there, and my co-founder was there, and we were like new to the space, right? It seemed like people there already knew each other, and
So you're new. You know nobody there.
I didn't know anybody, and then enters Jason. Okay, Jason is wearing this nice leather jacket.
Yes.
You know the one I'm talking
Yes,
about,
another
right?
jacket. Yes.
Yeah. So he comes in with like full swag, and he's the first person who walks up to me, shakes my hand, makes me feel welcome, asks
Aw.
if I've had a drink, and then shows interest in what I am building and who I am, and like spends like a proper 20 minutes with me understanding what I'm building. And I was like,
You're the one.
respect. Like, this guy has already had like a great exit. Okay, so he's like already made it. Story already was like, even before the bigger funding round, Story already had like 55 million from like Great Ventures. So I was like, here's a guy who's like, he's already made it, right? But imagine what makes him so great is the fact that he's humble, he's open to meeting new builders, and he makes you feel welcome. I was like, I am doubling down on Story. I am building on Story just because I like this guy so much.
Wow. I mean, Jason need to hear this story. Please cut this story to Jason so that he would love to hear it. I love that story. That's so cute. Yeah, for sharing with me. I really appreciate this conversation. And everyone, please give them a follow. Twitter account. What's your Twitter account, and also like the project Twitter account?
So my handle is cyber_Shakti on Twitter, and poster.fun is poster.fun. And
Not fun.
and like if you really want to engage with Coaster.fun, while you know the Mint and Create stack, I have some alpha that I'd love to drop.
Yes.
So think about Poster as the new Kaito, but with memes. So the more memes you make for a particular project or a token or whatever, we are now mapping your social engagement score with like open source APIs and something that we are also building in-house. So like a meme quality index score that Poster is developing at our end. The better your memes, the better token rewards you can earn just by shit posting.
Awesome. I love it. Everyone, please give a follow. I have a wonderful conversation with you. Thank you so much for joining our conversation today. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Veera. It's
you.
lovely to meet you.